Thanks for tuning in to the basketball edition of the Huddle. I'm reporter Ruth Lang here with sports editor Mike Brown. And Mike, we had Alliance and Marlington both had some wins on Tuesday, but Sebring and West Branch came up with losses. Will you tell us about those games?
Yeah, Ruth. Alliance continues to play good basketball. You know, they beat the Carrollton Warriors on Tuesday night, 56-42, and J.J. Kukura, who's been one of the most consistent basketball players all year, had 21 points in that game to lead the Aviators. And Marlington, another team that's just been playing some great NBC basketball for over the last month, they continue to roll. They beat the Louisville Leopards 64-45, and Lucas Struble, who's probably going to be a great candidate to be the NBC Player of the Year, had a big game in that game again with 24 points. So, and then as far as Sebring and West Branch, they kind of had rough goes of it Tuesday night, Ruth. You know, West Branch went down to Minerva and lost a 53-51 decision to the Lions, and that was good for Minerva. That was their second win of the year. The Lions have got a couple wins in the last couple of weeks here. And then Sebring, I covered that game on Tuesday night. They were home on Tuesday evening to the Latonia Bears, and Latonia's got a really young but growing team, and a dangerous team, I think, will be in the tournaments. And Latonia beat Sebring Tuesday night, so that was a tough loss for Sebring, but you know, they're hanging in there and they're getting the job done and doing the best they can with a pretty inexperienced group this year.
Looking ahead to Friday night, we have some key matchups in the NBC. What are those going to be, Mike?
Yeah, the big game's going to be down in Salem Friday night. That'll be the Alliance Aviators and the Salem Quakers, two teams that are playing some great basketball. And you have some marquee players on both sides in that game. You have Ryan Bush for Salem, who's a tremendous player, will probably be one of the candidates for NBC Player of the Year. And on Alliance's side, you have three really talented players. You have J.J. Kukura, who's coming off a 21-point performance on Tuesday night, and you also have Parrish Martin and Cordell Phillips. So, boy, that's going to be an exciting game. I can't tell you who's going to win that game, but the winner of that game is going to stay alive in the NBC title chase, and the loser is probably going to be on the outside looking in. I mean, that's how important that game is on Friday night. Also on Friday night, Louisville goes to West Branch, and these are two teams just trying to get a win, trying to get a little bit of momentum as we head down the stretch run of the regular season and look ahead to the tournaments coming up. And also Friday night, you've got the Marlington Dukes will be in action, and they're going to be hosting the Minerva Lions. So Marlington's been playing some really great basketball, like I said, over the last month. And I would think they would be a heavy favorite in that game, but again, when you have Marlington and Minerva, two area rivals, you never know how that's going to turn out. So I'm sure there'll be a big crowd for that game on Friday night as well.
You mentioned this before. The boys basketball tournament drawings are slated for this weekend. What are you seeing as some of the possible matchups?
Yeah, overall, if I had to rate this year, it's kind of a down year overall. But on the other end of that, we've got two or three teams that are having good seasons. Marlington is one of them. Alliance is one of them. Salem is another. Those teams have a chance to be seated fairly highly when they have the tournament draws this weekend. The rest of the teams, I would think probably a goal would be to maybe get a good draw where you can get a win and go from there and see what happens in the tournaments. But for those three teams, for Alliance, Salem, and Marlington, they have a lot of potential to go fairly deep in the tournament. And I would think they would be seated fairly highly this weekend when they have those drawings.
Now, in girls basketball, the Northeastern Buckeye Conference season wrapped up on Wednesday night. How'd the season shake out for our girl players in the area?
Yeah, well, we turned out like we thought it would. There was a two-way tie for the NBC title between Louisville and West Branch. You know, both those teams won on Wednesday night. You know, West Branch defeated Alliance fairly handily in Beloit, and then Louisville went on the road and beat the Canton South Wildcats. So they ended a first-place tie. They both finished with 12-2 league records and did a good job. The Carrollton Warriors were clipping at their heels all season long. Carrollton finishes third at 11-3 in the NBC. And the Minerva Lions, who had a really good year, and the Lions had a very, very good season. They finished 9-5, and they finished in fourth place in the league. So those were our top teams in the girls this year.
There are still some non-league games remaining on Saturday. Who do we have lined up for that, Mike?
Yeah, we've got three area games on Saturday. The West Branch girls are going to host the Austintown Fitch Falcons, an independent game. And Austintown Fitch is a Division I school. They play a big-time schedule, and that's stepping up their schedule for West Branch. So that may be a better game than a lot of people think. Because Fitch has a good program, and West Branch is coming off a NBC co-title tie with Louisville. So that'll be a tough game for them. Also on Saturday, the Akron Manchester Panthers travel to Marlington to take on the Dukes. And again, that's an independent game there. And the last one on Saturday, the Streetsboro Rockets of the Portage Trail Conference. will travel to Alliance to play the Aviators. And Alliance is trying to get a little bit of momentum with a younger team, and they've made progress through the year, and hopefully we'll continue to do that on Saturday.
That's all for this week's edition of The Huddle. Tune in next week as we talk about some more hoops action. And don't forget to check us out online at www.the-review.com, on Twitter at AllRevSports, and daily in the pages of the Alliance Review.